I almost lost my life 3 times. I wasn't ready to die. So I discovered how I can save my own life. As a result, Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle show was created. So let's answer the call to make our health a priority. Dianne's Call. Welcome back to Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle Show, where we are in Beaufort, South Carolina, to find our third hidden treasure. And we are at the house of this beautiful sister, Ifateyo.
Yes.
And can you tell us who you are and how, I thought you were from South Carolina.
No.
Well, so tell us about this and how you come to be here and your work here, because again, you are one of our hidden treasures and we want everybody to know about you.
I was born Jacqueline 70 years ago in Washington, D.C. So Ifateyo is a spiritual given name, which is also my legal name now. Okay. So legally, I'm Ifateyo Jacqueline White. Okay. Yeah.
And this beautiful facility, I'm going to call it a home.
Yeah, it is.
Which is called Neesa's home.
Yes.
Could you tell us who Neesa is?
Yes.
And the meaning behind it, and tell us about this beautiful home and how people can, what's the purpose?
Yes. When my daughter was pregnant with my granddaughter, she asked me what did I want the grandchildren to call me, and I said Neesa, because I've known of that name through the Native American spiritual tradition, and I knew it meant it meant Grandmother Moon. And I loved it. I always loved the feeling of that, and I loved the sound of Neesa. And for me, I was very close to my grandmother, and we all lived together in the same home. And to me, Neesa's home is an extension of my heart and my soul and my spirit, and the part of me that is a big nurturer and a healer. And so I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and all of those things. I'm a teacher, I'm a healer, and a nurturer. And these trees around this home hold that energy very solidly and very groundedly. And this home has the energy that I want everyone to feel when they come here, of a big embrace, a big welcome, a big embrace, and to support whatever it is that they have come here for. If it's for healing, it's for retreating. We have a lot of retreats here, a lot of solitude, a lot of time to spend with nature. And so that's what we do here.
Speaking about you being a nurturer, you are a doula.
Yes, I am.
Could you please tell us what a doula is and how that fits into Neesa's home?
The word doula comes from Greek language, Old Greek language, and it means a woman's servant, someone who cares for women. Okay. And so the word came into the American language in the 70s when a couple of doctors realized that women were having better births when they were attended, not necessarily attended, when there were women that were present with them who had experienced birth and who were nurturers and who could support them. Their birth experiences were higher, were greater. And so that's how the word came about, and that's how the profession came in the 70s. And I was called to doula work in 2007, and I became a doula for it was a calling. It is a calling. I'm a massage therapist, and an energy worker. My hands are my tools. And also, I'm a spiritual teacher, and I realized that I wanted to touch mothers, and I wanted to be present for incoming spirits, and I felt that my presence might somehow make a difference. And so that's why it was a natural progression to me, for me, to become a doula and to provide that support for mothers and babies and families.
Do you currently do doula work?
I do.
Still doing it?
I still do, but not as much. I'm also a postpartum doula, which is the extension of a birth doula. Birth doula is one profession. That was my first certification. And then postpartum doula is the woman who supports the family immediately after birth until as long as they need her to, in a variety of capacities. So I'm in the process of writing a curriculum for postpartum doulas. For this area, we don't have hardly any. I might be one of the only ones, if not the only. And my work, my birth doula work and my postpartum work extends from Savannah up to here. I don't go as far as Charleston, but up to Beaufort. And I'm now tilting to do more postpartum work than birth doula work. I've sponsored, I think, 3 trainings here for birth doulas. So
I was getting ready to ask about the training to keep it going, to keep it going. Yeah. So
and
you will train, or you?
No, I don't train. I will train postpartum doulas, but I don't train the birth doulas. My trainer comes here from Richmond to facilitate the classes. So now we have a beautiful community of doulas here, and I mentor more than doula now. So I will give away my births so that the women who are working towards their certification, they need to have so many births to become certified. So I'll pass my births on, and I'll mentor these women. So at 70, being the one is not my it's not my vocation anymore. I was the only doula here. I was the only Reiki master here. I was the only. That's been my path.
Let's talk a little bit about Reiki. You're a Reiki master.
Yes.
And what does that mean? Can you define Reiki for us?
Reiki is, simply put, it is the energy that is sustaining life on this planet. The ki is equivalent to the word chi, and ki is the Japanese of chi. So a lot of people are familiar with the chi energy. So when we speak of Reiki, what we're speaking about is that energy, that chi energy that is naturally emanating from the earth. And Rei is the energy, the electromagnetic energy that is pouring down in rays to us from the sun particularly, and the heavens on earth. So we're talking about the being a container, a channel for this energy that is just everywhere present.
What do you do personally to sustain your energy, to keep your tank full, to keep your container full?
Right.
What do you do? What are your practices?
My practice is to practice Reiki. That is my practice, and I practice that in a number of ways. One of my main practices is breath work, and I breathe in the Reiki energy every day. When I'm not engaging with people, I am breathing consciously in Reiki energy, chi energy consciously, and I'm allowing that same energy to clear me, to detox me. So that's why I say Reiki is my path. I'm not separate. I don't do Reiki. I am Reiki. Okay. And I'm very sincere about that. It's not something that is.
It's not a hobby.
It's not a hobby at all.
Your life.
It's my life. It is my life, and it was, again, it chose me. I wasn't trying to be a Reiki. I wasn't trying to be Reiki, but I teach a lot. Now that's I do and the phone call that I got, this is an aside, just now, this is a woman in DC who I'm going to teach when I go there. I teach more Reiki than I do anything else interestingly enough. And I don't think most people, but that's what every month I'm teaching students throughout the month, and I practice. I have people on the table who I work with. And Reiki facilitates emotional, physical, and mental and spiritual healing. So I have a background in mental health. So I have a way with people where I can work with them to really facilitate emotional healing. And that's one of my big gifts.
Your beautiful birthday celebration was on the beach.
Yes.
What role does the water, the beach, play in healing, in your healing?
Yes.
Or in anyone's healing?
Yes.
Did the water have some type of influence in you moving here? I know
Yes.
you said nature. Okay.
Yes.
So talk about the water. And again, I was just admire your birthday celebration.
Oh, yes. And the water is greatly significant in my life and has a lot to do with why I moved here and why I am here. The water and the trees, but the water, as someone who is a birther, someone who is in the birth world, who is not, well, see, I always say I'm never separate from, I am all of that. I am it. So water is very significant in birth. Water is very significant in the prenatal environment of the baby. Okay, so we're living in water, in a bag of water, all those 9 months. Also, spiritually, water is the home of the female energy, of emotions. The water here, and I will say this, the beach that is present for me here is a very special, ocean front. It is a vortex. It's a healing vortex at Hunting Island State Park. There is an energy that when you go there, you feel it. It's a maritime forest. So you have this ocean that is backed by a maritime forest, which means we have pine tree, oak tree, we have saw palmetto, and we have palm, all here facing this water. And so right in between where the sand is, where the beach is, there's this energy, this vortex of energy that's so healing, that any healer who comes here, they know it right off.
What do you say at age 70? And I know, and I feel that you're proud of that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I feel in America, when it comes to us getting older, and we all are getting older, that age is not revered as we should, as a country. Do you feel tell me, what do you feel at age 70? Because I tell people now, I plan to live at least till I'm 115. Because my great-grandmother was 106.
Oh, see? Yes.
And so I feel like I can do that.
Yes.
But we're living in a culture that, in my opinion, don't understand the beauty and the importance. So tell me what it feels like.
Well, it's an amazing feeling being 70, because there is a part of me that does not know what that should feel like. I have in my mind a concept of what 70 had been when my grandmother and my mother who never reached 70, but my grandmother and her other daughters, and I have a concept of how they were at 70, and I have a concept of what society and the culture feels 70 should be, but that's not how I feel. I have no feeling, I don't know what 70 should feel like. I really don't. And as I said to you earlier, I am so much healthier, have so much more vitality and energy than I had even in my 50s, I have to say. And I've always had a pretty fair amount of energy, but now I don't know when I will slow down or...
Don't slow down.
I don't think I can. I just don't even. I feel so good, and I am so healthy, and
can I say that you feel strongly that is because of the nature, or you connecting back to nature and the trees and the water, So do you think that had you not come here and you stayed in the different environment, do you think you would feel this good?
No.
Or do
I might.
You
I
said
don't.
that very confidently.
Yes, because I
Information.
moved here from DC. Okay, DC is my home. I love DC. I love cities, but for my nervous system and for the spiritual depth that I need to go to serve, that environment does not nurture me. I have to be in an environment that nurtures me. This environment nurtures me. And what I am so grateful of, Benita, is that I have inside of me this passion to listen to my heart and to follow what my heart tells me. And if I know that I can never go wrong doing that. And so my heart said, this is where I'm going to be. I have no other family here until recently. I moved here with all of my family still in DC and Maryland. And there was never a guarantee that anyone would come here. This was for me. And for someone who is a mother and who is the oldest sibling, and there was always that responsibility of caregiving and taking care of. For me to say I'm doing this for me was a big deal. But it was absolutely necessary for me to be able to live the way that I'm living in order to serve the way that I serve. And to be an example.
when families come, can they stay a day or a week or longer? And what do they do when they come?
Well, Neesa's home provides a variety of ways of experiences. I am on Airbnb. If you're familiar with Airbnb, it's
I'm not familiar.
okay. Airbnb is a part of the new sharing economy, and it is an online service that matches individuals or families with homes that are open for stay. It's like a B&B, a bread and breakfast, except it is a sharing experience. So you're in someone's home, and you are the person who lives here is generally here or not. So I'm on Airbnb. So I have people here all the time who I don't know. They find me on the website, and they ask if I have availability, and I'll say yes or no, and they come. And I love that. It has been extraordinary for me. And in addition to that way, then individuals can contact me directly when someone told them about me, and they can decide they want to come, want an individual or a couple or a family to spend time here, just to be on St. Helena Island, to learn about the history, the culture, or to go to the beach, or to be in solitude.
Can you share with me the history of the island?
Sure.
St. Helena Island is the largest island off of the coast of Beaufort. And during the time of the Middle Passage, when so many Africans were being brought over to the States, South Carolina, and particularly this area, let me say, Beaufort and the islands off Beaufort, and the plantation masters in Beaufort were particularly interested in bringing slaves from Sierra Leone, Senegal, and the west part of Africa, because they were specialists in growing rice. This was a rice culture. And so when the slaves were brought here, because these islands were uninhabited at the time, and except for the plantations that were created here, then the slaves were pretty much left on these islands freer than the slaves let's say that were in North Carolina or Virginia. they were able to maintain their language because they were mostly from the same area, and they were able to maintain a lot of their culture, the food, basket making, dance and song, because the plantation owners had their main house in Beaufort, and there was a smaller plantation house on these islands. You have the Gullah population, who are the descendants of the slaves that were brought here from those countries in West Africa, and so now we have Gullah culture and descendants of those particular slaves, who the Gullah corridor, as we call it, is from, say, Myrtle Beach area all the way down into Florida. But this area happens to be the largest concentration of Gullah people.
Neesa's home, the oasis of the South, healing, spiritual place, full of nature, full of love, full of nourishment. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here.
Yes.
Again, I can just stay. I know I can come and stay all day and be quiet and rejuvenate.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And, you know, you're such a great part of womanhood and of spirit. And thanks for giving us your love and your energy and for healing us.
Yeah.
And opening up Neesa's home for all women to come.
Yes.
And I'm going to encourage women to come and get the love and the nourishment that they need. So thank you again.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Up next is our Spicy Bite.
You have a vision. Everyone does, which is a start. But sometimes we just need a little help bringing that vision into a reality. Call Reel to Reel Productions, the premier multimedia production studio. Here, we can help you form, shape, and create a video that you can display to the world. They will direct, produce, film, and edit your TV commercial, promotional video, TV show, or live event. Reel to Reel can do it all. Exceeding industry standards, Reel to Reel will see to it that your vision is produced in the highest quality possible. What can we create for you? Everyone has a vision. Make yours real today.
Welcome back to Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle Show, where we show the world how to live a healthy and happy life. Today, our spicy bite is rosemary. Rosemary has a very wonderful smell, and the best part about it is it's easy to grow. I love growing rosemary, and it's a perennial, so that means it comes back every year, and it kind of grows a little while if you don't watch it. But you can grow it inside, you can grow it outside. And you can also, one of the things that I love to do with it is I like to buy a nice, good vegetable oil, and then I just stick the sprigs in the oil and let it infuse, and now you have rosemary oil. Cut up some red potatoes. You can actually use some of the sprigs and pour a little bit of that oil on it, and you have rosemary potatoes. Very good, very simple to do. This helps to improve the memory, and because I do so many things, I need help with my memory. It also is used on my hair. You can steep this, and the oil that I talked about earlier that you can cook with, you can also use that on your hair. Everything that I love to eat can also be used on the body. Again, you can use this and make a paste and put it on your skin, put it on your hair. It promotes nail growth also. You can't sleep on this herb. It's a wonderful herb, and it is in most of the kitchens in the United States. It's one of the most widely used herbs. If you look at a spice rack, it's always going to have some rosemary in it. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Dianne's Call Natural Living Lifestyle. And remember to use your rosemary next time you cook.